You fall for the same old system errors of the human brain, such as loss aversion. Crack this and achieve everything you want from life much more easily. You know how it is. When you're clearing out old clothes, it's hard to throw anything away, even if you really have no use for it. Then you've fallen victim to loss aversion, the same systemic error in our brain that causes millions of people to die needlessly every year, simply because they let their preventive medical checkups lapse. Loss aversion means that we almost always overestimate losses, namely, as greater than gains of equal size. We are all familiar with the principle of offering employees a reward if they achieve a certain goal by a certain date. But if you give them the bonus immediately, along with the rule that they have to pay it back if they don't achieve the goal, then the employees achieve the goal better than those who have nothing to lose yet. That is loss aversion in its purest form. Of course, avoiding losses has always been important for successful evolution, because if you don't take care of your possessions, you'll soon be left with nothing. But sometimes we exaggerate so much with our desire to keep hold of things that we end up losing even more. In other words, we often avoid small losses even when losing them would prevent larger ones. And this is not only evident among investors who hold on to bad investments for too long. The phenomenon is also known in jurisprudence, where a, often reasonable, settlement feels like losing a little something, so that settlements are even avoided by the litigant who would benefit from them. And we evaluate medical checkups according to the same pattern. After all, they would only be important if they resulted in bad news, which would then cost us our peace of mind. The loss of peace of mind would therefore come faster than the consequences of the illness. And so we often decide not to let ourselves be constantly driven crazy by medical issues, because that would indeed not be a pleasant life either. Unfortunately, the fact that we usually overestimate losses in a panic has not gone unnoticed by the economy. And so it mercilessly uses loss aversion against us, naturally to persuade us to buy, by making us afraid of losing something if we don't buy it. Scarcity slogans are therefore at the top of the advertising industry's charts. If you are faced with a decision where loss aversion could adversely affect your judgment, the following hacks will help. Try rephrasing the situation so that keeping it is described as a loss. Then you will have a better sense of whether it is right or wrong. Loss aversion does not work if the loss would be inevitable anyway, for example, due to a fixed rule. So make pre-commitments, for example, I will give away anything I haven't worn in more than 2 years. Briefly imagine how you would feel in 3 years' time about having acted one way or the other today. Then you will quickly realize which loss is easier to accept. Because once you know your brain's systemic errors, you won't fall for them anymore, and you'll know what others will continue to stumble over.